All right, so I'm heading in here today. Do a little shed hunting on the farm here. I don't know, I ain't found a shed on this farm for a long time, but I get some free time today. Weather's great, honestly. So I'm gonna go in here and see if I can't find something. So let's go see what we can get our hands on.
I was born down in Dixie, where there's crocodiles and whiskey. When a Sunday morning shines in, you look out the door and stand into the wind. Or the deer, hen, wild turkey, living life in no hurry. Songbirds singing in your ear, and that's the way we live out here.
All right, so down here in the first bottom, we had that green machine here last year. I can see out in here where it's been getting the bulbs from the turnips and radishes been getting dug up, which is good to see. But in this bottom, what I want to do this year is be probably here pretty soon. So my decoy and my ground blind's right up in here. There's a walnut tree right there. So I'm wanting to cut all these trees. This is mainly hedge and to cut a few cedars. I want to cut them so at this field, instead of an L shape, it'll be a rectangle. And then where that decoy is laying, that white spot right there, I'm wanting to cut that tree down and build me a box blind right there, so it's easy access to come in. And I'm also wanting to clear all these trees off of this old rock wall over here, and then thin out in between these two fields, so with the rifle we'll be able to shoot from the box blind into the other field. But the blind will mainly be for bad weather, because he wants to sit out and freeze. And then my boy was really wanting to go hunting last year, but when the hunting was good, I didn't want him out in the cold, getting sick and whatnot. So yeah, so that's my plan for this field. The second bottom right over here, I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do with it just yet. I don't have any big plans for it, but yeah, so this is I'm excited to put food plots in here real soon. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I want and where, so I can do stuff accordingly. So yeah, there's an old rock wall here, and I want to be able to see it while I'm in the stand, the whole thing. It won't be too hard to clear out. Mainly smaller trees. There's a hedge tree there, and then there's a hedge tree right here, and then get rid of the old playhouse. So that's the plan with this spot. All right, so I came up around the pond. I came up to the cedar thicket here. We're up here at the killing tree now. So stand is up in that little hole. But so this year, my goal is on top of this ridge here, the cedar thicket. It's got it mapped out. It's roughly 3 acres, 3.5 acres ish. So, but what I want to do is I want to get every cedar tree out of here. Every hedge tree I want out of here. They're too tall for thermal cover. Here, we can walk in here and I'll show you. A lot of people say, oh, they get the Griffin cover, thermal cover, all that other crap, whatever. And they are to a certain extent. But then you get in here like this, see all the dead limbs, all the greens up there. So down here at deer's level, not a whole lot of cover. Definitely not thermal cover, because the breeze is coming through here just fine. So I want to get, and there's a lot of cedar trees, but I want to get all these trees out of here. Bare minimum, I want an acre on this end cut out and drug to the other side. And I love to get them at least this acre cleared, and then the rest of it, I at least want to get them on the ground, cut them, let them lay. And then this time next year, I want to come in and I want to run a fire through and burn them all. Along this fence row, there's a lot of good oaks. Down there's some bigger pockets. I'm gonna try to leave those. With it being dried cedar, it's probably gonna kill a few of them, but it's okay. We're gonna plant some more. We're gonna plant some apple trees and some persimmon trees up here. But yeah, I want this acre on the end here to be a food plot, and then I want about 1.5 acres on the far end, which the deer bed there anyways. But I want to make it and just burn it and let natural vegetation come up and turn it into a bedding area. If I had a drone, I could show y'all a little better, but we'll work on that. But yeah, that's my goal, is to get all these out here. Some of these cedar trees are decent size. May call a local sawmill and see what size requirement they got. And if we got some that are big enough, then sure, we'll delimb them and load them on a trailer and, you know, make a little extra money to help pay for working on this. But yeah, so that's my goal, is to get this cleared out, save the acorn trees, plant a bunch of trees, acorn trees, and fruit trees. So hopefully, I've got a 10-year plan for this farm, and it's pretty brutal, but the goal is to have no cedar or hedge trees on this farm at the end of this next 10 years. I'll show you on an aerial map. That's it's a tall order, but I do plan on just cutting the majority of them and letting them lay for about a year and a half, and then burning them. I think once I burn this leaf litter off here, natural vegetation is going to start coming back up, you know, native grasses and forbs and whatnot. So that'll be good. I'm going to leave this is a fence right here on this old rock wall. I'm going to leave about a 20-foot buffer where I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to clear all the cedar trees out of it, but I'm going to leave a buffer, let the native stuff grow up, and that can be, you know, security for the deer. Gives them a border where they can walk around this food plot without feeling exposed. You see, it's so thick in here. You know, I can see a deer not liking it in here, 'cause all these little stiff branches from these cedar trees trying to poke you and whatnot. Like, I can see why a deer wouldn't want to be in here. I mean, they do come in here because it's cover. I mean, obviously they come in here, but this is the stuff I want. I want these little woody browse. I don't want all these cedar trees. So, like I said, there's some oaks over here along this fence row. I'm gonna keep those. I want to add to them. If I run a fire through here, I can hopefully make it to where the cedar trees are gone, and it looks a little more like this, minus just those cedar trees. That's kind of my goal. It's a hefty little project, I know. You know, this place was called Cedar Ridge Farm, and I want to move away from that. So how the deer even moves through here. Maybe right here. But yeah, so I'm working through here, trying to find some sheds. I'm not having high hopes. There's so many sticks in here, but we'll see if we can't find something on the deer here. Obviously, this 6 pile I found, but in this corner up here, still a few hundred yards away, is where they bed sometimes. A lot of times, actually. And see, the deer's trails are staying down here close to the fence, close to the property line. They don't want to walk through that. That was like a nightmare. I don't want to walk through that. But right here, it's a little easier to travel near these oak trees. So this is where they're moving at. And this is where I found sheds in the past, along this property line here. I mean, we got some good sized cedar trees here. Like I said, I'm just going to call the local place, and I mean, maybe they'll just buy them for cedar chips. I don't know. But if we can turn and make a little bit of money while we're doing this, I'll be happy. But like things like this big guy, I want to keep him. That's awesome. I mean, that'd be a great, possibly even a great stand tree later. Of course, a different wind because the wind's hitting me in the face. But yeah. So we got to see several oak trees up through here. I want to keep them, but gotta have the reason. We gotta make it so the deer want to stay here more instead of on the neighbor's property so much. And like all those woody browse, I love all this. This is awesome. All these little trees. The deer nibble on these, especially in the wintertime. I mean, you can look at this one. Tell me that one hasn't been eat on a little bit. Come on, camera, focus. I mean, that one's been nibbled on a lot, which is right here on the edge, right in the open. But yeah, get these cedar trees out of here, get this leaf litter off the ground, burn all this as fuel. And let, like I said, about a 20 foot, 30 foot wide swath right down through here. Just leave it alone. And look, the turkey have even been in here. Kind of hard to tell, but these aren't really shadows. This is the turkey have tore it up. And once again, they're down here around these oak trees. They're not up there in the cedars, so nothing is using those cedars. So, you know, they just got to go. They're not vital. We can have it native grasses and forbs, and that'll, you know, the animals will like that. But yeah, it's kind of a little rolling here. You got a big rock pile over here, which is pretty cool. I'll show you all that. 2 ways it could go here. Either way, might have shit. Plenty of good deer tracks in here too. It's like a turkey had a field day in here. But back in here, these cedar trees will be getting dropped and burnt. All right, so if you look, so there's a cedar thicket, right? There's a whole bunch of dried branches from the cedar trees are just everywhere. This spot has had a few trees, has had the oak trees up here, blocking the sun during the growing season. But let me step back and get you a better look at it. So if you look, this is all a bunch of little saplings. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a bunch of little saplings, and the ground's all tore up here. So this is where the turkey were. The turkey came through here. They've been coming right along here. The deer tracks and deer scat has been coming right through here. Nothing has been up there in the cedar trees. They're skirting this edge where the oak trees are, probably because it's acorns, but also it's easier walking. They've got all this stuff to eat on, all those little woody browse. The deer have that. It's just a spot where there's not cedar trees. So, see the cedar trees are over there. All animal activity is over here where there's not cedar trees. So, that tells me they don't like the cedar trees because they're not good for anything. So, they're also an invasive species, this eastern red cedar. But down this corner is where during turkey season, I always seem to spook deer. I'm coming through here trying to hunt these turkeys because they roost up in these trees sometimes. And then they roost in some of the trees over here, and then they work all around through here. So I've come through here trying to cut turkey off when they've gave me this slip. Oh, it's a big thorn bush. I ain't going through there. So when they gave me the slip, I tried to come over here and cut them off. But this corner right here, and this will all be part of the bedding area over here. So I want to search this area pretty intently. One day I was going to see a turkey hunt, I was coming from that way, and like a dozen does got out in the neighbor's field there that were bedded in here. Of course it scared the turkey, but it's okay. Damn. Everything's got thorns around here. But yeah, this is one of the little bedding areas is in this corner. Because if they get the wind right, they can sit here with the wind coming this way. They can face this way. They can see the open fields on each side. So they can see anything coming with the wind at their back. They can smell anything coming. But there's a lot of good oak trees down in here. And there's several smaller ones trying to grow over here. But if I want to fire through here and get rid of all the cedar trees, I can turn this whole place into a really nice habitat for deer and turkey. And then get food plots put in, and they'll have cover, they'll have food, a pond over there, they'll have water. So they'll have kind of everything they need right down in here. All right, so this is a little, I don't know, 3/4 acre spot that Dylan and I cleared out probably 10 years ago now. Of the cedar thicket. We just got chainsaws, came in here, started dropping trees. We cut them into posts, but never did anything with them, so they're rotted, which is fine. I'm gonna show you something. So this is the cedar thicket, right? This is what it looks like. I showed y'all over there, which is exactly on the opposite side of this cleared spot here. So this is what it looked like. Right, not a whole lot of good habitat for the deer. So we decided we were going to clear it out. Well, this is what it looks like now. So it's super thick, it really is. But because little small cedar trees are trying to come back. It's got all these little trees. They're all competing. I've seen turkey nests in here. I've seen fawns in here. I've seen a lot of rabbits in here. Especially with these brush piles. These rabbits love those brush piles. But this is just something we did. You can give it another view up here. So we came in here and we just dropped all these cedar trees and left the area alone. And so it went from this, right, a whole lot of nothing, to this. Got a lot of woody browse in here, A lot of cover in here. I've always seen deer in here. So it's not like they're not using it now, because they're using it pretty good. But like I said, it went from that. Minus these cedar trees. Just to get these cedars out of here. We didn't spray anything. We didn't plant anything here. All we did was cut the cedar trees out and let them grow. And it's done really good. This is part of it over here. Just a little rectangle here we did. Did it all in one day. So that improved the habitat. But I'm gonna show y'all where I wanna for sure clear this here. So this is the end of the food plot right here. Killing trees right there. When I was hunting, right here, it's 120 yards. Looks farther, but it's not. My rangefinder said 120 yards to the end of the food plot, which is right here. So what I want to do, I want to go straight in here and clear this whole side over here out. All cedar trees. And then I'm going to do probably just a single line down the side here, make this a little bit wider. I don't want it to be where it rolls off. That's going down towards the pond. So I don't want erosion. I want to go here and clear out here. It's roughly, from where I'm standing, it's roughly like 1.5 acres in all. I'm going to check on the app and mark it out. But yeah, so I don't want any erosion down towards the pond. I want it up here where it's all relatively flat. I don't have the funds or the equipment to cut it, like pull the stumps out. So anything that's not a cedar tree, when we cut it, I'm gonna paint the stump with this stuff I got, this blue stuff, kills the stumps. So I ain't gotta worry about that. Cedar trees, if you cut below the bottom branch, they're dead. So I want to cut them as low as possible, because I'm still going to run a disc around it, just to break up some of the soil. And eventually the stumps will rot away enough where they'll break when the disc hits them, but that'll be several years. And it's fine. The plot doesn't have to be perfectly flat green carpet. I'm sure a lot of y'all like myself and don't have the the money or the extra money anyways to have somebody come in with a dozer. I called for a quote for a dozer. It was $1,600 a day, and they can do roughly 1 acre a day. And with that, it wouldn't be very selective. They would just be plowing cedar trees and oak trees and walnut trees, all the good stuff you want. They'd be getting it all. Called for a wood chipper, and it was their estimate over the phone was $2,000 to $3,000 per acre to come in here with a mulcher on a skid steer. But yes, I don't have that, so I'm just a little blue collar guy. I don't have funds like that. So I'm going to do it all by hand. And then this section, heading down towards the pond, as you can see, it's not good for much of nothing. This will be another year, a different year project. But they'll probably all be felled by hand. And then they'll sit for a year, 2 years, whatever. And then I'm going to run a fire through here, a little prescribed fire. We got a pretty good full trail here for a fire break. I'm wanting to, and the pond's right down there, so that's a decent fire break. And the top will be done already, so we don't have to worry about it. On the property line, straight through here, I'll cut another trail for full, which I'm wanting to trail over anyway, so I can come in the back way to my stand there. And then, yeah, we'll burn this. And then we'll burn, there's a field down there, but we'll clear right down in here. And along the fence row, we'll clear a trail. And then we'll be able to burn this. And I'm gonna burn it in different sections, different times. One year, another next. And just keep it on a rotation and getting burnt. So that just natural stuff grows. Not natural, the native stuff grows.